dear students, how are you? I hope all are good. Today let we start SST chapter number 14, resources. Resources matlab sadhan. The materials and substances in the Earth's crust and its domains, lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere are referred to as resources. So, resources are those means by which a country can progress and march forward to compete with other nations. So, these means are necessary for supporting life and for economic development. Therefore, the study of resources involves man's relationship with the environment, which original sources of all types of resources. तो देखो यहाँ पे एक पिक्चर दी गई है, इसमें कुछ ओल्ड रिसोर्स है, कुछ न्यू है. देखो लाइक पोस्ट ऑन कैरेज, कार, ऑयल लैम्प, इलेक्ट्रिक लैम्प, वुड बर्निंग स्टोव, माइक्रोवेव ओवन, पावर सॉ, हैंड सॉ, है ना, फोल्डिंग फैन, एयर कंडीशनर, वॉशबोर्ड, वॉशिंग मशीन. पहले वॉशबोर्ड ऐसे होते थे, निडल एंड थ्रेड, स्विंग मशीन, फ्लैट आयरन, इलेक्ट्रिक आयरन. तो ये ओल्ड रिसोर्सेज हैं और ये न्यू रिसोर्सेज हैं. How humans add value to resources? By definition, anything that we can use to meet and satisfy our needs is a resources. They are obtained. By definition, anything that we can use to meet and satisfy our needs is a resources. They are obtained from our environment, either directly or by application of human skills and technology. Human beings, by means of their skill, add values to resources which they need. Most natural resources become useful only when value is added to them. 4 types of values addition related to resources are economic, legal, aesthetic and ethical. This value addition brings the resources to usable or developed stage. It is at the stage that resources. So command applies, for example, iron as such may have no economic value to an ordinary user, but when iron ore is changed into usable iron, it commands a price or become economically useful. Clean Air Act is an example of legal value attached to air, nature's free gift. An example of aesthetic value addition to a resource is a holiday resource. People enjoy the beauty of nature or wilderness only when they have place to stay, rest and eat comfortably. Ethical value refers to certain moral precepts. Man is regarded as a rational creature. He obtains certain moral precepts. He obtains certain virtues by living in harmony with nature as well as with other fellow beings. Sometimes even moral duty is put above happiness. It is because of this responsibility man thinks of conservation of natural resources. Today, the ethical value of resources is of great importance. The resources which have legal, ethical and aesthetic value are also called non-utilitarian resources. Characteristics of resources. अब इसका हम चित्रण मतलब कैरेक्टर वो करते हैं रिसोर्सेज का. Thus, a material can be called a resource if it satisfied the following conditions. 1. It can be transformed into a useful thing. It exists in sufficient quantity to be exploited for use. It has certain properties. Man can acquire technology and skill to use material as a resource only if he knows its. The level of economic development and the equality of life depends on efficient and wise use of resources. Some important factors which affect the development and efficient use of resources are skills and technology. The use and value of resources depends on technology and human skill. Cost. The cost involved in development, extraction and transportation from the most critical components affecting the use of resources. Transportation and communication. Many areas on the earth are still inaccessible. Transport and communication play an important role in covering the areas. For example, Siberia in Russia has resources in plenty, but due to the lack of transport and communication, these resources cannot be exploited. It is only recently that human settlements have come up in some parts of Siberia. Adequate deposits. Resources can be exploited commercially only if adequate deposits are available at a place. For example, iron ore deposits in Chota Nagpur area can be exploited on commercial lines because adequate deposits and other required materials are available in that area. Industrialization. Industries make use of resources as raw materials and turn them into useful products. So, developing countries lacking industrialization use primitive methods and obsolete technology as well as worn out machinery and produce inferior quality resources that are quite expensive. Now, next, the time. The value of resources also changes with time. If it does not change, it may make a resource redundant. For example, people in northern New England, USA used pine tar and tall timber for constructing houses and to develop settlements. With the passage of time, these resources were used by the English Navy or shipbuilding. Now, other factor like specialization, trade, international availability or motive power, like electricity also affect development and use of resources. For example, a small country like Japan is today an industrial giant. She specializes in some chosen fields like motor cars and now in textiles too. Types of resources. The resources can be classified in different ways based on their characteristics. Their classification is shown below. So, resources. ये चार्ट पूरा बना हुआ है. Resources, natural, human made, renewable, non-renewable, continuous of flow, wind, water, natural vegetation, biological, wildlife. और human made कौन से हैं? Structures and institutions, quantity and quality. ठीक है. Recyclable, e.g. metals, non-recyclable, example fossil fuels. Based on Oregon. Based on Oregon, the resources can be classified into natural and human resources. Human beings add value to natural resources and make them useful. So therefore, we need to treat human resources as a part of the same system. Number one, natural resources. All gifts of nature which are useful in making the life of human beings comfortable and worth living are known as natural resources in Incola. They include natural vegetation, soil, water, and minerals, and even rocks. These can be of two main types, biotic and abiotic. Biotic resources, what these are? These are living resources like forest and forest product, crops, animals, birds, marine life, etc. और abiotic resources कौन-कौन से होते हैं? These are material resources or non-living things, minerals and power responses are abiotic resources. These resources can be exhausted by excessive use of it. Number two, human resources. These are the human beings who are made valuable through education, training, experience, and many other ways so that they are capable of making use of other resources efficiently. Human resources do not merely mean the number of people living in an area, but how do people possess required skills, education, and knowledge to develop other resources. Obviously, too many human beings without adequate skill, education, and training make a nation poor and may prove a drag on other natural resources. Based on renewability. Depending renewability, there are two types of resources, renewable and non-renewable. अब renewable resources क्या होता है? Resources which can be renewed by reproduction are called renewable resources. They do not get exhausted. Renewable resources are water, forest, soil, etc. So this renewability is possible only under certain conditions. Some trees may also take longer time to grow. For example, it takes between 50 to 200 years for tree to grow in a forest. Availability for fresh and pure water in a river may be obtained under certain conditions of environment. Second is non-renewable resources. अब ये क्या है? These are the resources get exhausted after use. Resources which cannot be replenished. इनको हम दोबारा से use नहीं कर सकते हैं. Fossil such as petroleum, gas, coal and other minerals. So they are available in fixed quantities. है ना? ये एक fixed quantity में available है. These resources once exhausted cannot be replaced. So the rapid growth of population creates pressure on such resources. तो जैसे जैसे जनसंख्या बढ़ रही है ना, तो इन चीजों के बारे में सोचना पड़ रहा है, क्योंकि ये रिन्यूएबल नहीं हो सकती. Based on utility. Based on their use and utility, resources are classified into energy resources and raw material. Number one, energy resources. Coal, gas, petroleum, water, power, and even certain minerals like uranium are used to generate electricity or as fuels for transport vehicles. Raw material. Minerals, vegetation, agricultural products, animal, etc. from raw materials for production of goods, even coal, gas, petroleum, which are mainly used as energy resources, may also be used as raw materials for production of chemicals, fertilizer, etc. Based on ownership. On the basis of ownership, resources can be classified into 4 types: individual, community, national land and international. So सबसे पहले हम बात करेंगे individual resources की. These resources are owned by individuals or groups. For example, land owned by an individual, a family or groups of people employed in companies. Next one is community owned resources. What is this? Adivasi do not believe in private ownership of land, forest and water bodies. They consider these resources as owned by the community. Some other example of these types of resources are public land, park, playgrounds and panchayat. Ghars in urban and rural areas. These resources are accessible to people living in the area and even to outsiders. National resources. These resources are owned by the government. In the past, all land, water and other natural resources were considered to be owned by the king, emperor of the ruler. Even today, the government owns such resources of public utility like rivers, railways, irrigation, canals, roads and buildings. International resources. These resources are owned by international institutes like United Nations or other regional international organizations. Beyond the territorial waters, oceans are often treated as open. These oceanic resources beyond 200 kilometers of exclusive economic zone belong to many nations. For example, India can extract petroleum from the bed of India. Ocean within the economic zone. Beyond this zone, it will have to seek the approval of international community to initiate such ventures as well as utilize the resources of the open ocean. Development of resources. The development of resources proceeds in a stage. Even when the location of resources is identified, exploration does not start and all of a sudden. Some important stages in the development of resources are potential resources. It is total quantity of a particular mineral or resources existing in nature. Such quantities are determined by surveys. Actual resources. These resources are those that have been surveyed and their reserves properly determined for actual use. Reserve. It is that portion of potential resources which can be exploited and developed economically. Instead, it is possible to convert our resources into a reserve using technology. So, reserves are like actual deposits from which withdrawals can be made. The development of these resources proceeds in 3 stages. Number 1, survey. It is used in finding the location of resources. It's followed by exploration. Number 2, mining. The method of extraction of mineral resources from underground is called mining. Ore. Minerals or their combinations are found in beds or seams. Okay, seams. So, which are called ores. We obtain metals and non-metals from ores. Factors contributing the development of resources. We have already studied about the factors affecting the use of resources. They contribute to higher economic growth by rising efficiency and enhancing the productivity. Factors that contribute to higher productivity and economic growth area as follows. Human resources. Human resources are the most important ingredients. The development and conservation of resources it is only through training, knowledge, productivity, better health, education, higher expectations of life, birth, and human skills, that we can make better use of the other resources. Technology, meaning the best way to do or make things, is an important contributor to enhance productivity. Self-governing institution, especially democratic institutions like the Panchayati Raj institutions, encourage workers at grassroots level to raise productivity. Stability and peace. Workers feel free to move around in a peaceful, encourage workers at grassroots level to raise productivity. Stability and peace. Workers feel free to move around in a peaceful environment. In absence of fear and uncertainty, the workers are more focused on raising the production, and that is true. Free market economy. In recent years, India has gradually thrown market to international competition. It exposed the farmers and workers to higher standards of work and raising their productivity. So, conservation. Conservation does not prohibit human being from making use of resources. It rather demands foresight to use the resources wisely. So the main aim of conservation is to ensure survival of life in all its forms and variety. Therefore, conservation of natural resources is necessary and meant to preserve resources for future generation, as there exist close relationships between plant and animals and the environment in which they live. The concern for the health of the environment is also a goal of conservation. Several measures have been taken for the conservation of abiotic resources. These include enactment of rules and regulations, involvement of non-governmental organizations, creations of specially protected areas like biosphere reserves, national parks, and wildlife sanctuaries, about which we shall learn later. The United Nations is also promoting international trade under the concept of globalization. Through the development of trade and commerce, wide dispersal and judicious utilization for resources is promoted. Sustainable development and the role of the United Nations. United Nations is today concerned with many global issues on conservation. Okay, the second Earth Summit was held in September 2002 in Johannesburg in South Africa. So appropriately titled World Summit on Sustainable Development, yani ki WSSD. It focused on economic development for regeneration of resources. The United Nations sponsored. It focused on economic development for regeneration of resources. The United Nations sponsored the first Earth Summit in 1992 at Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Its theme was environment and development. So, the conference turned out to be the largest congregation of world leaders in history. It resulted in some binding treaties to reduce pollution in order to prevent global warming. So, the concept of sustainable development was evolved and given shape at this conference. It was described as the main principles of sustainable development are, तो उसके सिद्धांत कौन से थे? So these are respect and care for all forms of life to achieve a dynamic equilibrium. ठीक है? Approve and raise the equality of human life to remove present imbalances. Next is natural ecosystems have enormous ability to withstand shocks, and it is important to conserve the Earth's vitality and diversity. It is essential to minimize the depletion of natural resources to avoid possibility of a catastrophe. Such attitudes and practice towards environment should be changed, as they are detrimental to the environment as well as our healthy and vitality. Local communities must be enabled to play participatory roles and take care of their own environment. All these suggestions for effective planning of resource ensure sustainable development. They also help to avoid or control some disaster like famine, diseases, and war. The Convention of Biodiversity was signed at this conference. It helped the member nations, including India, to evolve national conservation strategy. Distinction between sustainable development and economic development. So these are, it refers to change in amount composition, and it refers to exploitation of natural resources at a rate not above that of their. It is governed by demand and supply. It is governed by concern for protection and preservation of environment. It only refers to human progress. It is based on respect and care for all forms of life. So the all topics are covered in this chapter. I hope you all are very well understanding. So we will meet you the next class. Thank you.